These are the tales we weave. Tales of magic. Tales of mystery. Tales exploring the beyond. And while we continue to grow, even more adventures await. In the depths of the unknown. Will you join us in the telling?
Ooh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weave the Tale. This will be my inaugural game on this channel. My name is Ian James. I will be the Honey Master for our surprise one-shot. This is Honey Heist. Before I get into the sponsors for this channel, let's introduce our cast, starting with Griff.
Hello, my name is Griff, and I use they, them pronouns, and if you want to follow me across the internet, I am on Twitter and Twitch at Radical Griff.
All right. Zwek.
Hey everybody, I am Sweth. You can find me on Twitter at Swethra or on Twitch at Sweth. I do a couple of streams, a bit of hiatus at the moment, but a couple of streams a week normally.
Sarah.
Hi everybody, I am Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them. You can find me on the internet at Sarah of Swords.
All right. Last but not least, James.
Hi everybody, my name is James. You can find me online on Twitter at JamesRGlass, or you can find me on our Penny for a Tale channel on Sundays with Ian, playing Age of Ashes. Tonight I will be playing Stanley Kuberik. I'm really looking forward to this.
Stanley Kuberik. I love it. Well, this is my first time here, so if you want to see more of the crazy stuff that I do, yes, I'm on Penny for Tale every single week, at least once a week. But the sponsors for Weave the Tale, as I have them before me, are Black Void Games, Evil Hat Productions, Christopher Gray, Smunchy Games, Broken Dice, Mighty Narwhal, and Arcana Media. You can find links to them all in the show notes. But before I get into the rules for Honey Heist, all like 3 of them, let's describe who we're playing tonight so we can visualize, starting in the same order with Griff.
So my bear is Teddy Ruxpin, and they are a sun bear and a thief.
Ooh, sun bear and a thief. Zweth.
I will be playing Claudia, who is also a thief. Very, very eager to prove herself, but she is a little bit clumsy, so...
Sarah.
So I am playing Lee, Bear Lee. She is a polar bear, and she's a hacker, and she's very new at it, but very excited to be here.
All right. And James.
And yeah, like I said, Stanley Kuberik. I am playing a rookie panda bear driver. So he's very small, very small panda.
Okay. So that would be Bearby Driver, as the nickname is granted. But essentially, Honey Heist, it's a one-pager. If you're looking for it, you can find it online. You just Google it. There is a small page to donate it. But the idea is that you have 2 stats. It is bear and it is criminal. And if anyone is telling you otherwise, that's something else. If you're rolling something related to a bear, which would be bear, and if it's not bear related, it's criminal. And today, our group is headed to a place called Beartown. It's named after a bear that once lived near the area. His name was Beartown. Coincidentally, he was named after the town that he was originally from, called Beartown, but they're not connected. You meet at a tavern, is the name in quotes of the tavern that you meet at, abbreviated YAAAT, or just YAT. And as you file in, what are you guys doing?
Stanley is very short, so he just barely reaches the top of the bar, and he's having a hard time getting some service. So, he's got his little paw up there going, hey, can I get a drink here? Oh, come on, buddy. He got here after me. Man.
And I have a question for you. Do you have a fake, or do you have a form of ID?
No, I'm just gonna I'll just schmooze my way through things. It usually works all right,
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah.
I'm very charismatic. I'm adorable. Look at me.
I want you to roll.
Like
I want you to roll criminal for me.
All right, what do we roll for that? We roll a d6.
Yeah, and you're trying to go. Yeah, you're trying to go low. It would be 1d6, and if it's something relevant to your roll, you would roll 2 and pick the lowest.
All right. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Excellent. And with a grunt, you're handed some mead, interestingly enough. But how perceptive do you think you are, Stanley?
Not terribly.
Not terribly. So you
sure
wouldn't recognize. I spend a lot of
time looking at people's kneecaps and belt buckles, like.
Yeah. Would you recognize the kneecap of a bear if that bear was wearing a clever disguise in the form of a single hat?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Humans don't usually have furry knees,
That's true. Except in the summer, they tend to show them. Not in this little lakeside fishing village of Beartown. Yeah, but
not that furry,
however.
Like, there's a big difference between a hairy knee and a furry knee, if you know what I'm saying.
That is true. Now, who else would be finding their way in here? So towards the end of the day, evening, fishing village, you're sort of on the square, Bear Square. It's named after Bear in the square. This tavern is bustling, except you're starting to get looks. Is anybody else coming in? Because Stanley, it sounds like you're going to need a distraction.
I'll go in. Lee will walk in search of something non-alcoholic, but she will walk into the tavern. Kind of, it's a duck. She's a polar bear. She's a little big. Underneath the door and walks in. Looks around to see if there's any other bears around, or if she is going to be the only one, and she's tall again, polar bear walking on, kind of doing the hind leg thing, so she gets a good view over the crowd so can see Stanley.
You do see Stanley, but you hear across the bar a voice. It's a dead giveaway, you see. It's a man in a trench coat. Something strange about him, though. Staring at you, very angular face, wearing a trench coat and a hat as well. It's a clever disguise, but you're quite sure it's a human. I can spot a bear from a mile away.
Yes. Just kind of stare back from eyes.
Tell me, you from around here?
Who's asking?
Me, I am. The one with the coat and the hat.
It's a
He
very
says,
nice
just
hat,
staring
and
at
it
you
needs a better coat.
in the eye.
Yeah.
I'm an investigator. What I do is investigate. I'm very smart, like you see. I've deduced you're probably not from here.
What gave it away? The fur or the legs?
And his eyes will widen as he notices that you're covered in fur, fully unaware up until just now that you might not be a human. Then he squints again. Well, you see, been looking for someone like you, a bear or two. And if you get closer, he'll hide his face from you, kind of under the guise, just to keep up a sense of mystery to him. One bear, two? That couldn't be enough. We need more, you see. More for what I've got planned, at least. Still, they should come. Now, to the rest of the bears that might be filing in soon, a number of things could have drawn you to this lakeside town, especially Bear Square. A couple of artifacts of great interest, little local legends, at least to the bears in the surrounding wilderness. The honeycomb is one of them. It's said no bear has set their bare eyes on this mysterious honeycomb, but it sits in a barber shop called Honeycomb, or just HC. And as well, next to it, there's a store called Watts. It's a blacksmith. Legend has it that Plot made a unique piece of armor. It's chainmail armor. And apparently, any bear to wield this Plot armor is impervious to anything that would cause them to perish, with the exception that their death would be particularly sad. So as long as you don't have a sad death in mind, you're practically immortal. And then finally, there is a rundown casino. It's called Ursino Royale. It sits just behind the couple's therapist called Bear With Me. The name there, obviously a reference to the bear of Bear Square that the town was named after. But, Sweth, Griff, do you find your way into the tavern this evening? Are you drawn to anything in particular in this town?
I am. I make my way into this tavern. Being a sun bear, I'm definitely shorter than our polar bear friend, and I kind of lean up to the bar and just a ways down from Stanley Coo Bear, and watch the interaction as he tries to flag down the barkeep.
Hmm.
I'm on my second pint of mead now, trying to get another drink over here. Come on. Oh, hey, look at you. Hey there, good looking.
Hey. Can I help you, sir?
No, I got it. I'm under control. He's a little tipsy. He's starting to wobble just a little bit. That one tankard of mead is a little bit more than this tiny frame can really handle. No, I do it all the time.
He's your friend.
And he falls backwards off the stool.
Oh?
I'm okay.
Here, let me
okay.
help you up. And I kind of
Thank you.
bear walk over there. They walk really weird. And help this bear to
They
sit.
do be...
I help and pick this bear up, this little panda bear up, and sit him back on his stool so that he can flag down the barkeep again.
I'm adorable.
Never said you weren't.
The bartender, with a glare, picks up the two glasses with his fingers, pinching them together to place another glass, a third, of mead, staring at you, comparing in his head the weight of the beverages consumed with what he assumes to be a rough estimate of your body mass, perplexed.
Barkeep, could we get some waters as well?
And with a scratch of his bald head, he moves to a rusted sink and begins to fill 2 glasses with tap water. And
Thank
you
you so
notice
much,
then,
kind
the
Barkeep.
3 of you now, you're being eyed by that detective sitting on the far end.
Now, everyone else in this tavern is human, correct? Or are they
Yeah,
all
I
bears?
mean, this is a human town. They have a weird affinity for bears. Likely it's due to being placed around Bear Square in Beartown, named after the bear Beartown from the town of Beartown, not related to the current Beartown, but that doesn't matter. So this detective sort of peeks out at you from behind a newspaper. He's moved back, staring at the drunk bear.
Cheers.
Here's
Oh, you
You're
two.
nearly
come here
falling out
often?
of your...
Wait, no, you come here often?
You know, I wish I came here more.
You know, me too. Where are we
And
again?
I see this bear kind of like wobbling around a little bit, and I like put a hand on his back to like keep him upright on this backless bar stool.
Oh, thank you very much.
Do I see the detective?
You do. He's staring, and he lifts his eyes from the newspaper. You haven't been here an hour, son, and you're nearly falling out of your bear stool. I mean bar stool. You okay now?
You don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine.
He's fine,
I
detective.
count 3 of you.
Who 3?
I count 3 of you. What are you talking about?
Like there's just one of me. Let's get you some water. And I switch the glasses in front of him and move the mead in front of me and put the water in front of him.
So I think from the doorway you hear like an oof and a thud, and if anyone turns around to look, there is a big black bear that's just sort of not quite slooped low enough to get into the tavern, and she's holding a small bag, like a little prim handbag, and she comes waddling in, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She knocks some tables as she comes along, heads over to the bar. Sits down in her golden painted claws. She puts them on the bar, and is like, oh, hi everybody. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to jostle you there. How's everyone's evening?
We're doing well. Just keep my eye on somebody right now. But how
That's
about
a lady with the strength of a bear. The comically large newspaper falls onto the bar. The detective peering up.
Can I help you, detective?
Now, how'd you know I was a detective? Besides the everything about me. He puts his hands in his trench coat pockets.
About you.
It would be the everything about me.
The only thing you're missing is a pipe, perhaps.
As he was reaching for something to pull out of his jacket pocket, he shakes his head and places it back within. You can only assume it was something like a pipe. And he strides over and he inspects the 4 conspicuous looking humans. What brings you into town? Huh? The honeycomb? Is it B Labs? Plot armor? Maybe you're trying your hand at Ursino Royale. If you look at Stanley first.
Oh, I gave somebody a ride into town and decided I'd come in and have a drink. I've heard so much about Beartown and the tavern here. I figured I would just stay for a while. I got my car and I got my license, and I'm somebody needed a lift, so here I am.
So he's an Uber driver.
Like,
curious.
he's surreptitiously trying to swap the water back to the bead without being noticed. He's not doing
You
a
could
very
roll
good
criminal.
job of it, though. Okay, I will roll criminal.
This is where.
Oh, that did not go well. I rolled a 6.
Oh no! You've been detected in your
I'm
attempt
red-handed.
there. Well, the detective won't try to stop you, but the bears might. Stanley, I think you're getting drunker and drunker. You're getting honey-faced.
I need something to eat. Anybody got some food? Do you guys serve food here? Maybe some honeycomb, nice berry bowl, something like that. No, nothing.
Seems the bartender's opted to ignore you now.
I'll just
One
take my
drink.
business somewhere else. He stands up on the bar stool and goes to take a step and steps off the bar stool and just face plant on the floor.
Woo-hoo! Teddy
I'm
would
okay.
like to make a
Okay.
desperate leap to try and catch him.
Yeah, you'll have no issue catching Stanley Kuberik, and the detective will even try to help a little bit. Staring, it's those piercing eyes. There's something strange about this man. He's very frail and scrawny, but nevertheless, he'll try to help Stanley up.
Why, thank you. Thank you,
What
my
about
good
you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my good sir. Ma'am, whatever you are. Oh, wow, you're a lot taller than I thought you were. He's looking up at Teddy. And, wow, you're tall.
I am.
And he shakes his head.
The detective,
Right.
helping Stanley up, attempts to shake Teddy's hand. Sam Bigby.
Thank you. Kind of leans past his hand a little bit. Oh, no, there you are. Stanley Kuberik at your service. Nice to meet you.
How about the rest of you, hatted humans?
Oh, it's just lovely to meet you. I'm Claudia. It's a pleasure.
Theodore.
Claudia.
Theodore Ruxpin. But you can call me Teddy.
Oh, nice to meet you. He bows to each of them. What about you? There's way up at Lee. Wow. Yes.
Well, I have a proposition.
Calling it backwards.
And he looks. Sarah, I think you're muted, but he stares, for a second,
I
just
totally
sort of scanning.
was. Sorry.
Oh no. Why isn't she saying anything?
And then he's looking at you. The quiet one.
The strong silence.
Bad timing.
I like it. I like it.
We gotta go. He notices someone off in the distance. A pair of thugs in the corner. The This is a bad place. Let's say we meet somewhere we can talk. He produces some cash, lays it on the bar for the bartender near a pile of empty drinks and dangerous drinking water. And then he heads to the door. Anything you guys do here before you leave?
I think I've done it already.
Yes.
Sarah. I was gonna make sure that there was enough cash on there to have tipped the bartender significantly for whatever Stanley's chaos had caused, and then follow out.
Yeah, no, there's a decent amount. This detective understands the amount of calamity that Stanley Kuberik has caused to the poor bartender. Now,
Excellent.
as the five of you lot stumble out, you do notice a couple unsavory looking types head to leave as well. Do you fancy yourselves particularly talented? Looking around at
Buddy,
you
I'm
all.
the best driver you've ever seen. Drunk or
He will
sober.
not drive it.
I'm
Hmm.
fine. Nobody touches my cab but me.
It depends on what sort of talent you're looking for.
Well, for starters, we need to get out of here. And fast.
You need fast. I got wheels.
Hmm.
Stan, maybe our best bet. Get out.
Drinking on 3 and 4 meads? That's illegal. For a human.
For a human, I can hold my mead. It's mostly honey, and bears are made for honey, man. Come on. You just
If you've got 4
watch.
doors, we've got a getaway. Yeah, you notice coming out. More tall, lanky types. Stalking about. They're wearing suits. There's something strange about them. They're eyeing you guys up. Standing in the corner here.
Are these friends of any of yours? They don't seem all that friendly.
I wouldn't call them friends.
No friends of mine.
It's complicated. Yeah, we're not to find out. Stanley, where's your car?
Follow me. As a matter of fact, y'all have got some pretty long legs. Does somebody want to pick me up and carry me so I can just kind of tell you which way to go?
Oh.
Can I get a bareback ride or something?
Like one-handed pick up the panda bear and berry
Wow.
back
That is a bit.
ride.
He
You
grabs
have
a
the
hold
strength
of
of
your
a
ears,
bear.
Yeah.
steers you by the ears and which direction to go to get to the car.
Oh man.
That's fair.
Gently.
Led over. Well, the thugs behind you, 3 in all, they pick up the pace. Does anybody have any ideas as you make your way across this parking lot to the getaway car? Trying to maybe make a distraction or lose them? Did you let them follow?
Are we talking like flat, wide open parking lot, parking garage? This is
This
that
is
we parallel
an
park
outdoor.
6 streets down and okay.
Yeah, so this is just a big parking lot in the mall around in Bear Square, but the mall in particular is called Mall by a Bear because it's a mall by the statue of the massive bear, obviously, in Bear Square, in Beartown named after the bear, Beartown named after a different town called Beartown, and the two towns are not related. I've said it 3 times before, but it's an important fact. But yeah, so just across the parking lot, you probably have only a couple hundred feet. But
Serpentine.
yeah,
Bob and weave. Bob and weave.
Do that thing where it's like in the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons where it's like the bears go one way and the goons go the other, and then it's like bears this way and goons that way, and then
absolutely.
in between cars.
Wow.
Hanna-Barbera.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bear. Why not? They're gonna get worse as the night progresses.
Bear.
And I look for.
All of a sudden, Stanley is on the shoulder of one of the goons instead of on Lee. Like, how did this happen?
How did it happen? Now, yeah, actually, so, when you arrive at the car, you've managed to confuse them, but not lose them. They get in another car. It's a fancy car, though. There's a lot of power to it. You don't know if you could outmaneuver them necessarily. They hop into a Vespa, 6 parking spaces down. They know that you're about to book it. As all of you file in, Stanley, what kind of car do you drive?
It looks like the jalopiest of jalopies. Like it looks like it's held together with duct tape and hope, you know. But as soon as he turns the key in the ignition, you hear what's under the hood, and it sounds like, you know, a 500 bear power engine. And like he kind of, hold on to your butts, and he throws it into gear, and the pipes come out of the sides, and it's you know, if you've ever seen the wacky races from Hanna-Barbera, it, you know, immediately like the pipes come out of the sides, and it like, you know, smoke comes out of the back, and it goes up on its back 2 wheels and peels out of the parking lot. If you look at how Stanley is driving, he can barely see over the steering wheel.
Barely. And
he's got like blocks attached to the pedals that he's pushing with his feet. You know, he's actually not really even sitting down. He's kind of standing up, hanging on to the steering wheel for dear life.
Okay, I need you.
A fantastic driver, though.
Yeah, okay, and this is your specialty. So this would be an instance where we roll 2 d6s, and you would pick the lowest result. You don't want to fail this roll, though, lest they catch up to you.
3.
Well done. You managed to clear some distance. He instructs you to head to an abandoned bear house outside of the town square where they can discuss things. Does anybody wish to ask this strange man any questions on the ride over?
Why can't we discuss things in the car? I mean, the goons aren't here. Why do we have to go to the bear house?
Stanley's driving terrifies me.
I mean, that's fair. But we have some time on our hands. You could at least start explaining what the things we need to discuss are.
You seemed awful keen to get out of that tavern.
Yeah.
So what
with us?
With us in particular, so good detective, what is your game?
What if I told you everything you heard about Beartown is connected?
Well, yeah. All the names of bears.
Now, what human do you know goes around naming everything after bears? It's a bit contrived, isn't it?
I'll agree that the naming scheme of this town is a bit odd.
Tacky.
It does seem
At
like
best,
it
but
turned
bear with me.
It does seem like it panders to a certain kind of clientele.
And what if I told you that there's no warehouse in the state more dangerous than in this car right now with a drunk bear driving?
You feel like the little paw sticks out the window, signaling a left-hand turn as you screech around a corner. Coming through!
And with a right turn, 2 left turns, a right turn, and a left turn, you arrive at the warehouse. Per his frantic directions, he seems practically smushed in the back seat, only able to just peel himself out when you finally arrive. After a moment, he recollects himself.
I built my case. Best bear driver you'll ever meet.
Buzz off, Stanley. Now, checking around. Does anybody take any precautions before you head in?
Just taking a look around, seeing if the goons are behind us. Just looking.
Stanley's double checking the duct tape on the bumper. Almost lost
Yeah.
that piece there.
It is kind of hard to get a look at if you might be followed. Everything sort of has a gloomy haze about it in the overcast, painfully generic Alaskan small town that is Beartown. But you know the story of Beartown. So, and when you arrive, you can't really make out the details off towards the horizon, especially because most of these cars would sort of blend into the muted colors of the road anyway. But you're in a pretty empty corner of town. It's just about trees all around you, with the exception of this warehouse.
Sure.
Is the warehouse remarkable in any way?
It's remarkably unremarkable. It's almost refreshingly generic for a warehouse. So well placed in the middle of nowhere. But he has a key. He opens it. He lets you in. Well, before I begin, any final questions as he walks over to a table?
Yeah, you got anything to eat? I'm starving.
He opens a cupboard, and a piece of dust and a small tumbleweed just rolls out. I don't think you'd want what I have anyway.
Yeah, your
What
pantry
you
seems
want?
pretty bare.
That's coming from a pretty bear, but you want honey.
I mean, I'm more of a eat shoots and leaves kind of guy, you know, like.
Not your typical bear. You know, it's a shame with all these bear prints, and you notice he opens underneath this table a set of blueprints. They look quite official. As he sort of files through them. You want the honeycomb? You want 10 lifetimes worth of honey? Take a peek at the mysterious plot armor. Riches, whatever you need, I have it for you. So I'll ask again. What brings you to Beartown? She'll point at Teddy.
what brings me to Beartown. I have an interest in this this plot armor you're talking about. It intrigues me.
The legend of plot armor. Knew it attracts somebody. It's only a matter of time. It never leaves the safe, as you've heard. The wearer never dies. That's until legendary explorer Bear Grylls wore it right before he disappeared. He points to an absolute mess of yarn and printed photos on a board larger than his body, only 5 feet from his face.
And this
And in the center, there's just a picture. It says B Labs.
So this Bear Grylls
Scans him.
character, if he had the plot armor and he's not been seen since, is the plot armor actually in the safe?
Now they're a step ahead. Well, that must mean it's a phony. He turns to the board. If they gave him a decoy, what are they doing with the original?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Sounds like a big old bamboozle to me. Everything's not quite so black and white.
What are you here for?
Who, me? I already told you. I was just here because I was... you got me. Nah, I tell you, no. Where I was before, everybody just wanted to cuddle me and coddle me all the time. I just wanted to be independent. That's why I learned how to drive.
I wouldn't trust
so I
this
could get
one.
away.
Are you a real bear?
Who are you talking to? Of course I'm a real bear. Are you trying to insult me?
He produces a jar of honey and lays it on the table with the blueprints. This should be irresistible to you.
Everybody else, they do. Wait.
But then he looks. Claudia. What do you offer here?
Well, since you're asking, ever since I heard about that honeycomb, I've been really keen to come and get a bit of a closer look at it. Maybe even get my paws on it.
Honey, eh? What if I could tell you the best honey in the whole world is underground here in Beartown?
Well, you would certainly hear my stomach growling for that, because, I mean, who can say no to a good jar of honey, right? Are you saying that? Is there honey underground? Because, I mean...
Bear with me here. Then he looks at Lee. He waits, expecting an answer before he chimes. Who do you trust here?
Not you.
You don't need to trust me. Fellow bears.
Good, because I don't trust you. But they seem okay. I just wanted to drink after work, and then this whole thing happens with you know, rushing us out of the bar and everything.
Find that hard to believe. Well, let's start with a simple job. If I'm here to earn your trust, I'll give you some information. We have a computer savvy type in here.
Raise a paw.
I've been to Plot's armor. Little tour. Wouldn't let me into the safe. But I'm not so bad with computers myself. I found the password to the master computer. It was password. It was an easy guess.
Real secure. Real secure.
Tried my hand at getting to the bottom of it. I say you check it out. Get the come back, and we'll talk about blabs. Blabs.
Blabs.
Is it B labs? It's B labs. I've been saying it wrong for literal years. Right. We'll talk about B labs. I just had an epiphany. It's fine.
I mean, the
Head back
logo's
to
a
Bear
little
Square.
there.
It's kind of I wouldn't. That's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, it's a B. It's a B. It's fully a B. I'm embarrassed. Head to B Labs. But first, you get that armor.
All right.
Sounds like
And he's going to open that jar of honey on the table. And I don't have the bare words to describe how good this honey smells, but it is absolutely divine. What do you all do?
Oh, Stanley would take
I
out
imagine
his
Stanley
bamboo
might be the
straw.
hungriest.
Yeah. He's got his nice bamboo straw. Takes it out. And well, if nobody else is gonna have some, I'll take a nice. He just jams it in the jar. Just. Oh man, that's good stuff.
Oh well, if we're
And with
all
that,
gonna have a quick pause for refreshments, I wouldn't mind a little sip as well. And Claudia will almost drop it as she tries to take a bit of a sip. It's like,
wresting it from Stanley's paws. As
Stanley's now eating the bamboo.
this detective, Sam Bigby, he heads out, walking away. Would anybody follow, or is the mission to this plot armor? Alternatively, there are a number of other locations in town you could visit if you think that this plan isn't copacetic.
I mean, do we think that the real plot armor is in plot, or do we think that this Bear Grilly guy ran off with it, and we got to go find him? Maybe we should ask around and see if anybody's seen him.
If Bear Grylls has been lost for years, why would he be hanging around Beartown?
Your guess is as good as mine. I just
I
drive the
suppose it is
car.
close.
So around Bear Square, you have the casino, the metalsmith, which is plots. Then you have Honeycomb, or just HC, the hairstylist. But you might not understand that it might literally be a comb. And the tavern. Yat, or you arrive at a tavern, Y-A-A-A-T. And then just beyond, off in the distance, now you understand, a factory sort of building. Tall, towering over this small lakeside community. You know it to be B Labs.
Well, maybe if we're looking for information, I bet people talk at a casino. Maybe we should go to Casino Royale, although I do have unbelievably bad luck. Just unbelievable. But I won't gamble. It'll be fine. We could just get some information. Might be fun.
For sure.
You know, I think I like that idea. I was thinking that maybe we could, go make a couple of bucks, get some information. I mean, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. See if anybody knows a good way into B Labs or where the plot armor wound up. See if anybody knows any.
So to the casino?
No.
You just let me know where to steer the car. I'm with you.
To the casino.
And as you leave this warehouse building where Detective Sam Bigby had been holed up, well, it turns out he's nowhere to be found, despite there not being any other cars having arrived. He sort of vanished after heading away, but it would only take as long as it took to get here to arrive back at Ursino Royale, the casino.
Maybe a little more.
Valet would park for you.
Drive a little bit more carefully.
That's good. That's good. Lest your car literally fall apart. Shout out to the actual Honda Civic that I own for making it to this show. But as you arrive, the valet attempts to take your keys.
No, I'll soft park. It's all right. As a matter of fact, I think I might.
Oh, no.
Turn around to Wes and Griff Eddie and Claudia and Lee. Go.
No.
Maybe I should just stay with the car in case we need to get it like a speedy getaway. What do you guys think?
In case things go sideways inside the casino?
Yeah, I'll just keep it running. What do you think?
It doesn't hurt to have a quick getaway plan.
Yeah. I'll be your Uber driver today. I'll just sit up here in the queue.
And you'll notice the valet is standing before you, jaw to the floor, at what you had just said out loud so blatantly about having a getaway driver. What
are you looking at? I'm adorable.
Do you want to roll criminal?
If this is a human, it's all kind of coming out as like grunts and growls and bear. we can communicate with each other.
That is true.
Yeah, that is a world building question. Do we sound like people?
No, it does so on the page.
Okay.
Yeah, so the language that you speak is bear and body language. You'd be surprised how far you can get with that. But it's not really clear why this detective could speak to you so well. And as a matter of fact, now that you're sort of piecing things together, the bartender, the way that they all acted, it's on par with being completely misunderstood. And the patrons of the bar all seem to think you were just drunk out of your mind. But remembering that, the detective never took off his hat. Quite interesting.
No, it's almost like he, when he buzzed off, it's almost like he flew the coop. You know what I mean? Like maybe Detective Bigby is really just a big bee.
Hmm.
And
as you park,
he speak there. I don't know. I've never met a bee before.
He
That's a
did
good
leave
question.
some honey for us. Suddenly gives me pause
That
for
is
thought.
true.
But do you think, here's the real question, do you think a bee respects a bear?
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. That's definitely a bear scratcher. I've told you, they're devolving. They don't even make sense now. Puns are just there to be there. So you'll stay out here as the getaway driver.
Yeah, I'll keep it running.
The berry driver. If it still runs, yeah. Lee, Teddy,
run, don't you worry.
Claudia. What's the plan?
Schwartz in it.
Describe the heist here.
I think we were gonna go in and start asking some questions, which might be a little obvious, but we're bears, so I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. Among the three bears here, the question is, who's the brains of the operation?
Well,
I can pretend to be the brains.
Uh-oh.
Or somebody else can actually be the brains.
I have read a lot about heists and things, and I have a little idea. Maybe, okay, so I bet the most talking is going to be happening at the biggest high-rolling table. So, how about we go in, we, squirrel away some chips. Get them maybe not completely lawfully, and buy our way onto a big table. That way we don't even have to talk. We could just listen.
So we just need chips stolen to get this plan up and moving. I bet I can take care of that.
I thought you might be able to get your claws on something for us.
What dollar amount we looking for? Or should I just what I can get?
As much as you can get your paws on.
Perfect. So with that information, does anyone have any moral objections to thievery?
None whatsoever.
Brilliant. So I'm gonna go steal
Those are the
some
laws
stuff.
of man.
And yes, we are bears. So I'm gonna go steal some chips from humans.
Interesting.
Are we still,
Okay, well,
I've kind of lost track. Are we still standing outside by the valet who is still eavesdropping upon this entire plan?
No, with nothing but a response of grunts, Stanley has ultimately parked the car himself. The living miracle that it is still in one cohesive piece, thanks to some wad of duct tape and or WD-40.
The entire trunk is
keeping
full
it
of nothing but like duct tape rolls, like stem to stern.
Yeah. Yep.
He just pulls out
Threaded
another one and
through
starts
just
putting-
stalks of bamboo. Fantastic. And yeah, with this you've walked in. You've headed into Ursino Royale. A couple of people, yeah, they're off in the corner discussing how tacky the naming conventions of the entire forlorn town. And there's a band playing. They're called the Oxford Comma. They've paused to discuss something about a poorly placed semicolon, but it's not interesting, and it's not late enough for them to begin their set list anyway. So they'll argue amongst themselves for about another hour. But the task is to steal some chips or acquire them somehow. Is that correct?
As of now, yes.
All right. And so what are you looking for here? You could take it from somebody, or you could try to get them from the source.
I would like to scope out and see who looks less than attentive of their chips, so I can just kind of walk by and scoop them really casually.
Okay. Okay. So there's a table. A couple of folks. They're not really paying a lot of attention. Unbeknownst to them, those thugs you recognized from the tavern, they're at the table as well. If they recognize you, it could be trouble. There's a lot of chips on the table. A distraction could suffice.
Distraction would be helpful.
I'm a giant polar bear. I can do something, I'm sure.
Yeah, you could flip a table.
You could flip a table.
I could
sending
totally
chips
flip a table. Send chips everyone can go pick them up.
and then we would be able
Yeah.
to steal them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There we go.
I can do this.
Let's go.
I will find the table that looks like it has the most chips on it and flip it.
All right. Roll a d6 for me. Lower is better. And then this is where
You're
we'll
gonna-
do... You got a
you're gonna
6?
flip it, I assume.
6.
Yeah. It doesn't really flip. You sort of just chip off a section of it. You realize it's been nailed to the ground, to the shock of the patron sitting on the table. A woman stands and says, "That lady has the strength of a large bear." Completely unaware. And they sort of stand.
So as that is happening, I like run up to the table and I'm like, "Did you see that?" And as they are all distracted by this very tall polar bear, I'm like shoveling chips like into my pockets.
Yeah,
To
bear
further-
pockets.
To further
Sure.
the distraction.
Yep, this is the classic bait and switch called the polar and solar bear. Now you can roll a criminal.
All right. Almost set my water
See
down.
if it
on
would
my dice.
work. It's going to be difficult. And as a reminder, for rule 4 of this one pager, we have changing states. You have 3 points, 3 in bear and 3 in criminal. And if you succeed in one or the other, you will lose a point in one to gain in the other. When you've reached 6 points in one or the other, you will either become a full-fledged irreparable criminal or a fully feral bear once again. That is your return to nature. So it's all about keeping the balance. If you find yourself swinging towards greed, you'll have to try to take it out in whichever way you can bear. And then likewise, if you find yourself over frustrated as a bear, you can go back to the cold and calculating by committing more crime. So crime is the answer here.
When I succeeded at the drive check, would I have put a point from criminal into bear? Or no, sorry, from bear into criminal?
Yes.
But then
Yes, so
eating
you're
the honey at the bear house would have put a point back into bear.
Precisely.
Back to being even.
Fully that. Yep.
So I move because I rolled a 6 and failed miserably on flipping the table that was bolted to the floor. Do I move a point from criminal to bear or the other way around?
No, so it would only be on a success. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're still, you're still doing
Wait,
swimmingly.
no,
now,
frustration when the plan fails, move 1 point from criminal into bear. So.
oh. Okay, yeah, so that is a plan. Yeah, so you're devolving into your bear instincts as that were. So let me just mark that. Now this plan with the distraction, what was the result, Teddy?
Oh, hold on. That was a 2.
Okay.
Which means that's low, so it means I succeed. And I am more criminal. Correct, if I understand those rules.
Yes. So you're swinging. Yep. More criminal. And now you can always voluntarily choose to move 1 point from bear to criminal by doing a flashback scene in which you and the other bears plan out a heist over coffee and cigarettes. Now, you couldn't do it in a situation like this, but you'll have, as you're preparing in the future, you will be able to take a moment, hash things out. You can play it retroactively if you would like, but for now, you have pockets full of chips.
At the same time,
We
if
could,
this
The money's in the
back to
bag.
the bear house and say that
Yeah,
we
so
talked about
the
this before we left, kind of thing.
Right, exactly. And you say, oh, well, that's where I pull out this wild card reveal to the Honey Master. But speaking of the plan, as it devolves, you notice, Lee, you have attracted the attention of those unsavory types. They're quite strange, but they're looking at you now.
I do the thing where I was trying to lift the table, but then I put my hands back down as if I'm letting the table back floor and changing my mind, totally trying to be cool. And look over, kind of give Griff a wink, yeah, we got it. And not give a little head jerk in the direction of the goons, psst, they're back.
I give you a nod in return, and just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say, Stanley, just outside this casino, you notice, as you're sitting in the parking lot preparing your getaway, that same car rolls up, the one that had been searching for you. Parking. 2 figures, they come out, they open a trunk. They produce, it looks sort of like a net gun. They slam the trunk and they sort of slowly stride in towards the casino. One of them answers a walkie-talkie.
Actually, in the flower bed or the the topiaries outside of the casino, which happen to be bamboo, thematically appropriate. And he's just chowing down on this bamboo, and he kind of like, you see the little like panda bear head like stick out from a couple of pieces of bamboo. Go, oh God! And he like runs back over to the car and like he's like got a couple of extra pieces of bamboo like stuck in it, and coming out of pockets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
if you had to buy them some time, what would you do?
Oh God! Oh God! I don't want him to see me. I don't want him to see the car. I don't know what to do. Maybe I can light something on fire. No, that's not a good idea at all.
I mean, yeah, you see them, they're sort of cranking it up. It's almost a comical contraption. Technological, though, it winds up this sort of net of green fiber, I want to say, almost glowing slightly.
Oh man.
They walk in.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Maybe I can take one of my rolls of duct tape or one of my cans of WD-40. Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. Well, you said WD-40.
You have many of both of those. Absolutely.
So maybe I can sneak out behind them and grease their shoes.
It's not a bad plan there, Bear. Yeah, so you're sitting outside in this parking lot. They're taking their time. I mean, just absolutely carrying you the opportunity to brainstorm here. And it's a miracle they haven't seen your car, because it looks like it's camouflage if a forest was made out of duct tape and hope, but it sticks out like a sore claw here. And as you plan, they sort of turn a bit and they look at it, but they don't pay much mind to it. These aren't the same thugs you encountered at the tavern, but they look really similar, don't they? Their limbs sort of like bamboo. They're very lanky individuals as they strut around in their fedoras.
Anybody left in the car? They all got out of the car, right?
Oh, and in their car, there's nobody in their car. Nope.
All right, I'm gonna go duct tape their doors closed.
Ooh.
All right. All my duct tape, a couple of rolls of duct tape, and I'm gonna go duct tape their doors closed. They can't get back in the car.
Perfect. Back inside, Claudia.
So Claudia has been trying to be not suspicious, waiting sort of at the side, observing what these two are doing. And she's doing that thing where she's going around and seeing if any of the machines have just dropped any extra chips or anything that people haven't collected. When I think
okay.
when I think she probably spots these people coming in. And recognizing the similarities to the people before.
Yeah.
She's gonna see if she can get the attention of the other two, of Teddy and Lou, that are over there. And so she's gonna sort of try and weave her way back through to the table where these guys are.
Yeah, and
guys, I think we've got some company.
Oh? Teddy at this point is not exactly by the table anymore. They're standing there kind of seeing what the what they've made on Lee trying to flip a table. See if we've got the plan we
well,
need.
things are starting to get a little hairy. Suspicion is arousing, and then the two thugs, as they were, they've also arrived, and they're making eye contact with the other 3 in here, so it's 5 in total. And just through glances, exchanges, they're sort of piecing together what's happened here. There's scraps of wood about from the failed table flip. Convenient for you. A room opens up, a door. A man in a suit. Room for people with a lot of money. We've got a room for people with a lot of money. In this casino, there's a room. It's for people with a lot of money. Anyone with a lot of money? Closing in 5.
We'll take the room.
Yeah, let's make a beeline
Room with a lot
straight for
of
there.
money. You have a lot of money?
Room for 4, and I have the hat on. And I show the chips that I have scurried into this hat.
That's a lot of money. That's a weird place to just come just right this way. Got a lot of money coming in here, and then you notice just a comical amount of chips, like a dragon's hoard around this table. The secret society of sorts, like almost a cabal, sits in this room. Some of them wearing masks, some of them looking like supervillains almost, which is quite comical for such a small town, and yet they just sort of wait for you to arrive. The 3, I think there's 3 of you. As you arrive, you fill the only vacant seats.
I show the hat, and I offer some to make sure that everybody has, if we're gonna play, as a stack.
Yeah. Right. Now, when you deal in, I want a criminal roll.
Claudia would like to try and, as we're playing this game, she is gonna try and manipulate some cards to give us good hands.
Oh, like it?
Mm-hmm. Under the guise of being, a little bit clumsy, new to the game, she's gonna try hide some in her paws, keep them up her sleeves.
All right. I believe your bonus right now, you're still at a 3 and 3. So criminal, roll a d6 for me.
That is a 6.
Ooh.
It's a point in bear, I think.
Yeah. That puts you at 4 and 2. How frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
What about Tenny?
I would like to... Actually, I would not like to try to, steal or anything this round, because I clock what Claudia is doing. So I think it'd be risky to have too many of us fucking with stuff on the table. I don't know, I swear. Oh, well. Messing with stuff on the table.
Those are human rules. We're bears.
So as I see Claudia sort of messing with things, I talk to the person next to me, and I'm like, "So, nice mask you got there."
Sort of staring daggers. Lifting the mask, pulling it down, you notice somebody. It's that detective.
Detective? I didn't take you for a gambler.
I'm not a detective, you see. And with the most obvious wink that he claps in your direction, it makes an audible sound. I mean, ripples throughout the vicinity. I imagine Stanley could sort of feel the shockwave from the absolute divine lack of subtlety on the wink. But he plays it off like you think he got away with it. And it's hard to read humans. Maybe he has. Now, if you'd like to roll to play an honest hand, you may.
I'll roll to play an honest hand.
Yeah. Yep. Because there's no risk of failure there. But you don't have as good a bonus.
No, I don't. I have 5.
Ooh. You're already down some chips. Lee, you're also sat at this table. It's been revealed that your elusive friend, Detective Sam Bigby, is sitting at the table. In alias, he had been wearing a mask. How he managed to find his way into the high-stakes table is a bit of a mystery, but he's here nonetheless. And what's more is he didn't want you guys here. He offered you visit somewhere else first, so the plot really does thicken like a jar of honey. Lottie Lee, what do you do?
So, I am. I'm just gonna strike up nice, normal conversation. We don't know what this guy's up to yet, and just be like, what brings you to the high stakes table, sir?
Pretend like we haven't met him 20 minutes ago under totally different circumstances.
Yeah.
I was recommended by my friend, and he looks around, scanning for a name of a friend. My friend Chip. Chip Poker?
Ah, yes. I know them well.
That holds together.
Chip Poker. Now, what doesn't hold together is Stanley's car. It starts to creak a bit, even in a gentle breeze. But you notice these thugs, they're heading back to their vehicle, unsatisfied and unable to find these people that they were looking for. They come upon their car, which has been absolutely bound up by duct tape. Did you have any other traps for them?
Yeah, there is a comical, cartoonish, like, strip of WD-40 underneath all of the tires, so if they try to go, then the car's not going to go anywhere.
Well, they begin to curse.
And I'm hiding in the bamboo.
And scream and kick. Unable to get the car open. One flashes the walkie-talkie. And they move. They start to search. They're looking around for the culprit. What do you do, Stanley?
Stanley he was trying to hide in the bamboo, but it wasn't working terribly well. So he finds a bus full of tourists, and he puts on his biggest, cutest baby panda face, and very quickly, like, grabs a piece of cardboard and scrawls a sign like, "Baby panda photos, $5 each," and like just sits next to it with his like big like doe eyes and tries to surround himself with a crowd of tourists.
Are you still wearing your hat?
No, he's
Okay.
cashed the hat.
All
He's
right,
just like
yeah,
in,
and you can
I'm
hear.
just a baby panda.
That's fantastic.
No, the hat is
Um,
actually on the ground next to him, so that they can put their money in the hat.
Oh, wonderful.
$5 a photo with the baby panda. And
Man.
he's like just, I mean, laying on the cue.
The starry eyes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. To your surprise, nobody questions this sudden appearance of a baby panda just on the side of the parking lot here. And of course, you look absolutely nothing like you did just a second ago when your hat was flipped over and on your head. So they're none the wiser. The person they're looking for, to them, isn't here, but they're interested in this panda that they see, and they sort of stride over. But we'll get back to that. At this table, you've lost a couple of hands. You need a plan. See, the communication, they're not talking, but you do notice, off in the distance, there's a hallway. You can see security guards exchanging shifts, preparing for the second shift. They're changing hands. You can see lights, hear the sounds of the fans whirring. There's computers. Secured by B Labs, a little sticker on the heavy metal door. What do you folks do?
Claudia's gonna lean over to Lee and be like, didn't you say you were good with computers?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Want me to make you a bit of a diversion so you can get back there? Sounds like there could be something you can tinker with.
Let's see what we can do. Yeah.
With a big flourish, Claudia will put down her really bad hand in front of her, and as she does it, she will knock over a bunch of other people's chips, and sort of disrupt what they're doing and all of their earnings. And will stand up to go, oh, I'm so sorry, and will knock the edge of the table, causing more chaos as cards sort of fall everywhere. That's her plan.
Out of frustration, immediately the guests stand, all save for your little secret detective. And suddenly that security guard locking the door strides over to calm the tensions here from the favored guests. Moves to you, Claudia, right away. Grabs your arm. What are you doing here?
I've just come here to play a game like everyone else. Our friend, and I meet eyes with the detective, Chip Poker, recommended the place.
The security guard has heard nothing but grunts and growls, and he stands in relative amazement. All right, you're coming with me. And then this is the diversion. Teddy, Lee, you have an opportunity. What do you do?
I think we take it and go toward the door and see if we can get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. So when you do, you'll find that within there are about a score of computer displays in this massive security room, as well as several computers and a server. Server's owned by B Labs, or Blabs, as the infinitely wise detective called it for an embarrassing number of years. And aside from that, these computers don't seem to hold anything that interesting or lucrative on the surface level. But if you'd like, you can make a check.
I would like to do some sketchy hacker bear shit. to try to dig beyond the surface with it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And so this, you would meet your current skill, I believe, and I think you are at 4 on criminal. So you have to get 4 lower.
Other way around, I have 2 in criminal and 4 in bear.
You have 2 in criminal, 4 in bear, so you'd have to get a 2 or a 1.
Right. And do I get to roll 2 dice because this is related to my job?
Oh, yes, you do. And you can take the lower result.
Okay.
Yeah, so roll another one.
Oh, it's a 4 and a 6. It didn't help.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it's written in B++. You don't know that language. So, yeah, you can't manage it. You can't swing it. But there's a stack of documents right on the table. It would take longer to sift through because it's not necessarily your forte. But
I can...
How about you, Claudia?
Yeah.
Me, I think I'm out distracting everyone, aren't I?
Yeah, and now you get the feeling that you have to draw this out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be a quick and easy task for the security guard, lest he make his way back to his office too soon. So what do? You need to stretch it just a little bit.
So I'm going to start slowly backing out of this room back towards the main hall, whilst continuing my very eloquent in bear explanation. But obviously to him, it just sounds like a bunch of grunting.
Yeah.
Yes, with any of us, it would sound like William Shakespeare.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
He notices ushering you out towards the main entrance, sort of on the side there. A piece of cardboard out. You can barely see it between many pairs of legs. There's a crowd forming. Something strange. And what you do see, though, is an overturned hat you'd recognize. Perhaps your friend has lost his disguise.
Oh.
Catches the attention of the security guard.
It seems like there might be a mystery going on. I'm going to run over to the hat and see if the security guard chases me.
Into an earpiece. Well, the thing is, he was trying to push you out the door. You seem to have pushed yourself, and baffled, he doesn't pursue you. But he's standing there by the revolving door, speaking into an earpiece. Lee, Teddy, you hear him chime into the security office. It seems we have an incident. Is everything okay? You can see on one of the security cameras. Stanley, what does it look like out here? What's the scene you're causing?
I would say that I noticed Claudia heading for the hat. I want to know how much money I've actually made.
How cute is this bear?
I mean, how cute is a baby panda? Like
that is true. It's a little hat with a lot of money in it. They're packing it in, for sure.
I would say that
now
Stanley wouldn't even bother to gather the money up. He would literally just take the hat and put it on his head.
Oh, there you go. That's a change.
Just have all of the money tucked up into the hat and kind of sticking down at the side. Thank you very much, folks. I really appreciate your time. Come back next week. I'll be here all week. And start just hauling us towards the car.
Right. Yeah. Probably the most impressive trick that this panda has done so far was pulling a hat on, addressing a crowd in full bear ease, and booking it to a car, wheeze in hand,
with a mild,
and
mild
yeah.
Asian accent. Very, very mild.
So now, back in the security room, Lee, Teddy, you have some time, a little bit. It's been afforded to you by your friends. You couldn't hack into the server. You know that this is somehow connected to B Labs, but there is a stack of folders. What do you like to do here?
Can I rifle through those folders really quickly to see if there's anything of particular interest, like perhaps about the plot armor or about the basically I'm just kind of looking for anything, you know, a stereotypical folder that says confidential plot armor.
Yeah, like the stamp. What about you, Lee? Oh, I think we're frozen. Yeah, so interestingly enough, you don't see anything marked confidential, but you do see a big fat red stamp. I mean, a rubber stamp that says confidential across it. But none of these folders have been marked as such. Instead, you have a couple of weird connections. Some mention Plot's armor, the honeycomb, elusive in nature. They describe it as having been engineered somehow, that it's connected to B Labs. They won't really say why. Yeah, it's very wordy, and you get another chime in on the earpiece. Shh. Everything okay? The bear, it seems he's put on a hat and strode away.
That folder that you say has all the connections in it, I kind of like take it and I just kind of rifle through it for a second to look for any of the information that I need, and then tuck it. I'm a bear, so I'm gonna tuck it like under my arm and hope that my arm is big enough that I can walk out with it just under my arm.
Right. So interesting. All right. Anything you'd like to say into this receiver before you leave?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
All right. Down the way you came or down a different hallway? That is the question.
Down a different hallway.
Okay,
so
that would bring you.
Me.
Yeah.
Go on.
Now the only question: would your friend Stanley know where to find you if you were to come out the other side of this casino?
So I'm thinking, hopefully, as Claudia has made her way over and out towards Stanley, she's gonna get into the car next to him and be like, quick, we gotta hightail it round to the other entrance. Meet them around the back.
Just be doing like loops. You know, hop in the car and just gun it, and then take off one direction and then circle around behind the casino. And just lead him on a wild goose chase. And if Teddy isn't out there, we'll just do another lap.
Okay.
And every time we go by, he just like laughs at the goons that are still trying to get into their car.
They look absolutely agitated, buzzing with frustration, and eventually, on that final lap, you zoom across, and as you're about to round the corner, you realize you've inconveniently passed as Lee and Teddy emerge from that back door as it slams open.
Emergency brake, skidding into a drift, coming around and, fishtailing through the parking lot, possibly hitting a potted plant.
Excellent.
At this point as well, Claudia's leaning out the back and she's throwing the door open so that Stanley can just scoop them straight into the car.
Perfect.
And I grab Lee, and the two of us kind of dive into this car. And I'm like, go, go, go!
Yeah, it's a bit of a van, I think. Like, I don't know why, but it's like a souped up kind of jalopy van in my head now.
Yeah.
The sliding
car's
door
just-
we've opened.
Yeah, and as they take off, Stanley like reaches a paw out the window and grabs another bunch of bamboo and like yanks it.
Excellent.
Doink.
And now we begin a chase. The first car, you come to realize that these thugs, they came in two groups. There's the one from the tavern, and then the other one that arrived here, the ones you booby-trapped. Well, you've taken care of one of the two vehicles, and now you're being pursued. These pale, angry-faced gentlemen are booking it directly towards you. You know roughly where everything is in town, but you're new here. Where are you headed? You know, you could lose them
Wild
again and
goose
try to make
chase.
your way to the warehouse. Yeah?
No, I'm not gonna go someplace where I'm not gonna go back to the bear house because that would tell them like where that is. I'm gonna go through like the most windy, twisty alleyways, you know, all through the town. You know, if you know, what is the what was that comic strip? The Family Circus, or it's either Family Circus or Calvin and Hobbes, where it's like, can you shovel a path to the driveway and like goes around the tree and like across the yard, and, you know, then eventually out to the driveway. You know, like that's how Stanley is driving. He's not even thinking about where he's going. He's taking a right and then a left and then another right and going down the alleyway and like up the on ramp and down the down ramp. You know, just kind of leading him on a wild bear chase through town.
Yeah, I want to check. Roll me the 2d6. You'll take the lower result on this.
Whew. First roll is a 1.
Oh, okay.
Second roll is a 1. That's 2 1s.
You're kidding me. You have absolutely no problem. No problem.
I told you, I'm the
losing
best
them. In
bear
addition,
driver in the world.
that's true, because I mean, there's also not a lot of bear drivers, so I don't know. I mean, you might be. I'm not sure that's contested, but still, it's pretty
He's
uncontested.
also got a chunk of bamboo sticking out of the side of his mouth like a cigar the whole time.
That's fantastic. Cuban bamboo. We're talking quality. Now, where would you like to head to? You know where B Labs is, you know where Plots is, and you know where the Honeycomb is. You've already visited the tavern, and you visited Ursino Royale. You know there are a couple other establishments, but it seems like all lines point, at least to this detective you met, Detective Sam Bigby. He, sound like B Labs is somehow at the center of this.
Hey, you know what, guys? You know what we might want to do before we go check out the Plots and the B Labs? You might want to stop by the Honeycomb and try and get a disguise. I got all this cash. He takes his hat off and it's just full of cash. I got all this cash. We could definitely get some. You guys didn't cash those chips out before you left, did you? That's not going to do us a whole lot of good.
No, yeah, there are many. They have many chips and many.
Well, I'm glad I
piles.
got this money for us because we might need something. I could use a new trim, or what do you guys think?
I think the Honeycomb is an excellent place we can go and we can plan our sting on the B Lab. Let's get a whole fresh
And
new
then maybe
look.
we can
I
get some disguises.
Maybe just make us look a little bit less like bears, so we're not so conspicuous.
I just see
Yeah.
Stanley with a giant, like, comical mustache now. Do something about these black circles under my eyes. Like I just don't know what I've never been able to get rid of them.
The lady, I guess there's no better way to describe her except sweet. As she greets you warmly, you arrive. The door chimes as you enter. She welcomes you to the Honeycomb. Looking around, though, eyeing you all curiously.
He only just like tips his
What do you
hat,
do?
a couple of dollar bills fall out. He
Loose
scoops them up and just like hands
change.
them to her.
Thank you. Just as she kind of like lets us in, and I like don't eye her suspiciously, but just like kind of like, okay. I see.
Yeah, she'll meet you with that. And what will you have? Starts flipping through a book of hairstyles. This place is sort of like a salon. It's also an antique shop. You notice gilded carafes and some chalices, decor about the shelves,
begin,
sort of in the back.
I very conspicuously put my hands behind my back and like start looking at all these antiques. Like, these are very interesting, very nice. Be a shame if any of them went missing.
Yeah, if it
He
were
only
a
wants
threat,
like
she
the
wouldn't
full
have.
spa treatment.
That's
Sorry,
wonderful.
That's
And
what you were doing with Teddy.
yeah, noticing Teddy, she says, "Well, if you're searching for the honeycomb, you won't find it."
Who says I'm looking for the honeycomb? I'm just looking to
Unaware
look.
of what you said and unable to speak, Bear, this very human looks at you with a degree of confusion, but also curiosity. She assumes you are looking. In fact, nobody really seems to care about her antiques, so she'll continue. If you'd like to know, it's been stolen. Yes, quite a shame.
By who? Is what I would ask. She could understand me.
Like a grunt as a question mark.
Yeah.
And she'll.
Tim Allen style.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And she'll sort of conk her head. Two men in coats. Let's see. They came in the night. Left off with it.
They didn't look like this at all, did they? I say, not that she can understand. And then, like, on her book, I scribble an absolutely terrible, like, cartoon drawing. But yeah, it's clearly got the signs of the men that we've seen been suspicious, like, around.
Yes. Yes, you see, she points to one of them, though they both look the same, and both horrendous depictions of these strange, lanky men. That matches the security footage. Are you searching for them?
Yeah, that we do. We have a nod.
Yeah.
And then Claudia is going to, from her little purse that she carries with her, she's gonna really awkwardly fumble out. It's just like a shiny something. It's like a coin and she's gonna shine it as if it's like a badge, and then be like, "Yeah, we're looking for him."
That is fantastic.
It's like that thing, really quick,
And-
like in the face.
Yeah, can you make a criminal roll
I could
for
try.
me? Here, yeah. You certainly can try. And what's your specialty, Claudia? What's your claim to fame here?
I'm like the face. So
Right, okay,
maybe-
good. So you roll 2. Yeah, absolutely. And then
Okay.
whichever result is lowest we'll take.
Cool.
And I believe
I got a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, you absolutely nail it. She takes you as a figure of authority. Bless her heart. And well, you'll take a treatment for free. Just bring me back that comb. It'll mean nothing to you to keep it, lest you believe in magic. And she'll shrug it off and open a book to display a number of styles and cuts and treatments, including a full, complete spa treatment. You know, there's a few hours left in the day.
Got like the cucumbers on the eyes, like the face mask. He's just like sprawled out, getting his paws rubbed, his nails done. He's already got the robe on, everything. Nobody has any idea how he got undressed or like got set up that quickly, but yeah, Stanley is already just like sprawled out, being pampered.
Fair. Yep.
Claudia puts her claw down onto the most outlandish hairstyle that is there, and with a nod is like, yeah,
beehive.
This is the one. Yeah, it's a massive beehive in like platinum blonde.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, that's incredible. And I would like
the pompadour and the big handlebar mustache.
Oh yes.
It's a bit strange, isn't it? Now she will move to Teddy last to help them decide on a style. What do they choose?
Kind of like a pompadour up top that's has some height so that they look a little bit tall. They look even taller than they are. They're just to beef up their, because they're kind of they're a smaller bear, not as small as Finley, but sun bears are kind of small. So
yeah. Do you believe in magic? She'll say to you. Observing the wall of antiques that line the glass shelves in front of the tall floor-to-ceiling mirrors throughout this salon.
I do believe in that. Or I should say I believe in luck. And if luck is magic, then yes.
I'll have you know, that comb of mine happens to be dripping in luck. No one here seems to ask themselves, how come every part of this town is about a bee or a bear? Eyeing you through the mirror close by as she's styling your hair. Just sort of tapping her temple. Curious.
How would all of these magical items end up in the possession of one hairdresser? That's what I would ask.
Magical items, well. She pauses for a second and sort of stares at you, realizing something. Maybe waiting for you to realize, but not before backing away. Well, your services are complete. And she'll begin to clean up and sweep, dismissing you all.
Teddy kind of stands up and is like, Can you understand us?
Sweeping the hair into a pile. Claudia, Stanley, do you react to hearing this?
No, Stanley is too busy doing his Elvis Presley imitation in the mirror. Doing like lip
Perfect.
and like tip thing.
Incredible.
Fantastic. You're
I want to
incredibly
be your
fluffed.
teddy bear.
The hair fluffed out from the blow dryer. And
Claudia,
sweeping. Mhm.
I should say Claudia sort of spins around in her chair where her hair has been being done to reveal the whole new look, and like is gonna tap, her claws on her face, her perfectly manicured claws. Yeah, to see what the answer to this is.
Well, suddenly, look at that, and she'll spin the sign on the door. We're closed. Now, I best be going. After all, I can't speak to you, or rather, I could. Glaring, it's obvious she understands who you are. And she sort of just opens the door for you lot to leave. But now suddenly the situation seems a little bit sketchy. What's going on here?
I'm gonna look at the other two and be like, well, perhaps we should be on our way, but I'm gonna get out of my purse a lot of chips from the casino and just keep eye contact with this lady as I put them down on the side and then give her a little nod.
It won't be active for 5 minutes, and she'll press a button on the side of the door, and with a loud buzz, a voice chimes in. It's just automated. Something about B-Lab security system. But she'll wedge the door open and give you an opportunity to leave before just filing away some paperwork and sweeping errant hairs into a dustpan. You have an opportunity to just leave if you wish to take it.
I think so. Should we make another quick getaway and head to the labs?
I think we should.
Yes.
Let's bounce.
Now, we're in twilight. It's hard to know if you're being followed. If you have any precautions, you may take them. But you don't see anyone on your tail. You do notice she sort of leans over and just stares through the wide windows, watching you lot leave. Curiously, like she had one job to keep a straight face through her side of this strange unfolding story, and she failed in a way, accidentally revealing her hand and urging you all to leave before she further incriminates herself. Now, are you headed to B Labs, up on top of the hill of Beartown?
Yes.
Let's make a beeline for it.
Well,
Fly
Hang on
on
to your
over.
butts.
Lord above me.
Squeal out of the parking lot.
the time it takes to reach the top of the hill, winding up, you reach B Labs, a massive institution. It doesn't try to make itself known. It's trying an attempt to hide within the trees. I mean, like a well-painted green building. It's covered in windows, and the entire perimeter is fenced. It looks like a science laboratory. Now, there is a unit. There's some security operating the place. Now and again, the gates will open to allow a van to enter before shutting itself. You don't recognize the van from anywhere in town. But what do you do as you guys arrive? It's starting to get dark, so you have a little bit of cover here, approaching this lab on the top of the hill.
Well, I think best way of hiding is going in plain sight, right? How about we give your van some decals, Stanley?
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Mm.
Yes.
And I pull up,
If we
there's a
didn't
ripping
disguise
noise
the
as you
van.
pull the tape. Yeah.
Yeah. Start making the van look
The
like the
B
van that
logo.
just got in.
Yeah.
Ah,
Like with that B logo and everything.
through the use of decals, excellent. And you notice something as you reach into the trunk. That back storage container, I guess we'll call it. What it's carrying is a different cargo. You're used to using this thing to ship strictly the supplies needed to keep this piece of junk moving. In the back, however, that WD-40 is missing. In its stead, jars of honey.
Whoa.
Weird.
Whoa, baby. Guys, we're rich.
You've been holding out on us.
Take a look
Where
at
is
this.
where's all this come
Where did
from?
you get all this honey from?
I don't know.
The honey, it's sort of similar. It says WB-40. It's a similar sort of rounded can, but breaking open that seal, you get that rich aroma again. Fantastic honey.
I'm gonna
Does
chug
it spray
that
out
honey.
like
Cool.
WD-40?
Yeah,
Does
and
it
if you were
spray
to-
as well? So we can like spray. Open wide. Shh.
So if you do this, you will regress to your bear instincts.
Oh no.
I was 1 point into
I
criminal
do it.
anyway, so I need to go back towards bear.
Yeah, so I think this will reset you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll put me right back in the middle.
So
All
Oh,
right.
it hits the
with
spot.
okay,
Yes.
never mind.
The good stuff.
Okay. So what's the plan? You're to move in as a van. And then what? What are you looking
We
for
got a
here?
load
The
of
honeycomb?
honey for delivery. To try and
Just
get past
taking
the
the-
security.
Mm.
Yeah. Teddy,
Claudia
did you
can
swipe?
flash her badge again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Teddy, you get that folder, didn't you? That
I did.
official looking folder. Mind if I borrow it a second?
Yeah, and I hand it over.
Did you take the stamp as well, or just the folder? The confidential stamp.
Let's. Yeah, I took the stamp too.
So,
Excellent.
Claudia's gonna sit in the passenger seat at the front, and just have a bunch of. She's gonna have stamped just loads of pages with this confidential stamper, and she's gonna when they get to the security gatehouse, she's just gonna talk really fast in her and sort of throw these pages out and point in the direction they're going.
Don't look at me, buddy. I'm just a driver. I just go where she tells me to go.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta get in here quickly. We've got all this honey in the back. Look, you need this. Take this. And one for you. Look, proper official stamp. I stamp
It's
him on the
above my
hand
pay
as
grade,
well.
pal.
Approaches. Please stop. You must identify yourself. Then he sort of looks embarrassed by the statement before shrugging it off. And then as he's handed this or shown a stack of confidential documents,
I don't know if he ought to be looking at that stuff. Are you sure he's got the security clearance for that? I don't know.
Don't show
right,
me
You don't want to get in
the
trouble, buddy. You might want to not want to look too close at that stuff. I mean, it'll burn your eyes out.
I snatch it
everyone
back off
be calm. Be cool.
Be calm.
Be
calm. Be cool. We're gonna get
calm.
in trouble if we don't get this. If we don't get all these papers in. If we don't get this delivered in time. We're gonna be in big trouble, buddy.
big
Well,
trouble.
let's not waste our time bumbling about. Gates open. Then
I
to his
think that went
assistant.
Cloud of smoke.
Is that duct tape? Well, suddenly you're within the walls of this facility, B Labs. Quite curious now. This place painted the forest green to sort of match, blend in with the environment of the small town it's been built atop. Now, that's for the exception of many, many windows covering most of the surface of this building. The sun is set, so you won't catch a glare. What you will see is several individuals. They look like scientists hustling about within. You know, the structure, compound of sorts, is large enough that there would be a courtyard on the inside. But you can't see it because you're still on the outside. And now, one such figure you can make out. Detective Sam Bigby. You recognize the hat before the relatively nondescript face. He's talking with someone. He looks inquisitive. Yeah, he's maybe on the 6th floor chatting. He hasn't noticed any of you. But what's the plan, folks?
I'm gonna park someplace like out of like the vans normally go this way. Like the last minute, I'm gonna turn off and like go behind the dumpster.
By the dumpster.
Yeah, like try and hide the van someplace where nobody's gonna spot.
Yeah, you notice a side door. It opens up. 2 lanky individuals wearing coats. They're chatting. Same way.
Duck.
Discussing some formula or pattern development. They're talking about the basement. Do you want to say?
We just duck down in the van so it doesn't look like there's anybody in it.
Yeah.
Grab Claudia by the back of the head and just like, get down.
Yeah, they're
Just the
taking a
top,
break.
the
One of them.
You see it at the top, just in the window. Top of the hair.
One of them.
Stanley gets down far enough, but his pompadour is still like sticking up.
Yeah.
I was to say, both of you have like pretty tall hairstyles.
Yeah, that is true. And they eye it up for a second. Before one pulls out his lunchbox, and as he opens it up, he pulls out a banana. Except he sort of stares at it quizzically. Hands it to his partner. She looks at it. It has stripes on it. For some reason. Baffled, and as it were, they shrug it off. One of them sets a door stopper on the open door. They're going to go find a trash can, apparently. They both file in, leaving the place just ajar. You have a way in if you're careful. What's the plan?
Let's get in and find ourselves some of those coats. Blend in.
Sounds like an excellent plan.
Yeah.
Stanley brings along a couple of bamboo sticks, like almost like a screamer sticks. He's got like bamboo. He's going into full like
Bamboo.
Actually, no, they're
it.
strangely somehow bamboo nunchucks.
Yeah, no, that's fully, I understand that. So, you arrive, it's a facility like any other, and a laboratory. Equipment lining all available counters of all of the rooms that you can see, and through the windows you can see even more. I mean, microscopes, beakers, things bubbling and glowing about, and scientists. You can hear them chatting, but this place isn't occupied at this time of day. It's nearly night, and in the early evening, it seems people have taken a day off. At least as far as you can tell. Are you looking for a basement?
Yeah, let's grab, as we go in, let's snag off the wall a couple of, a few lab coats, throw them on, and head to try and find some stairs.
Ooh,
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah,
Yes.
Stanley looks ridiculous in like the oversized lab coat. Like the sleeves are too long, it's dragging on the floor.
I
don't
mean,
know
how
if this is
tall
the
is
best idea.
We carefully roll up the sleeves on this coat, but it still looks ridiculous.
how
Yeah,
tall
he just
is
starts.
Teddy?
He
I was
Teddy
shrugs
thinking
off the coat and just
Stanley.
starts doing like unnecessary like rolls on the ground, like parkour. You know, like doing the secret agent kind of thing.
Yeah, now
We could
suddenly,
try and get Stanley on top of Teddy in a lab coat as one person.
He's also out loud saying, "Dun dun 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 dun." He's like got his back up against the wall and he's like shoveling down the hallway.
Alone. We don't want a 9-foot tall bear sculpture running around this laboratory.
oh, that is amazing. And now,
More suspicious.
eventually, the black and white tile, they turn into a pattern of hexagons, varying shades of that golden honey hue. Suddenly, and as you're rolling around, Stanley, you notice suddenly you've got yourself caught a little bit. Not quite quicksand, but something sticky. Sticky situation indeed. You've rolled into honey. You can't tell if it's a spill or if these tiles themselves have sort of cracked opened. Now, you're going to need some help to get out.
Start licking. Start
Licking. So we're going to make a bear check rather than a criminal
Fair
check.
check.
All right.
Oh, a 5. That's not gonna do it.
Unbearable. Okay. Yeah, lapping away, you just can't manage to pull it off. Suddenly you hear voices turning the corner around the hall. Talking something. Something about B-rays.
Reach.
I'm gonna try and reach Stanley under the arms and hike him out of the honey.
Okay. That's bear strength.
Up there. Okay, that's cocked. A 3. And I'm on 3 and 3, so I think that's a pass.
You're successful. You possess the strength of a bear, coincidentally, just in time. But you do notice on the far end, just beyond these two individuals marching towards you in their lab coats, there is a stairwell, one leading up and one leading down. You do know your friend is upstairs, but this basement, according to those files, you might want to look at those files again, by the way, your confidential folders, they did include a floor plan of some place. You now understand it might be the basement there. Allowing these individuals to pass, you have a break. What do you do?
Shall we dive into a lab nearby and lay these blueprints out, see where we're going?
And then we should follow them to see to make sure we're in the right place.
I just wiggle because I'm being held. I got some feet.
Yeah, we'll dive into a little corridor, roll out those blueprints, see where we need to go.
Orientated.
Yeah, a storage closet filled
I
with
stick
beakers.
Stanley to the wall. Just stick him to the wall with his honey.
That's perfect.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is kind of neat. I got like my sticky feet, so like take a couple of steps up the wall, like walk up onto the ceiling, and I'm hanging upside down. This might come in handy.
Excellent.
Now that you
Ooh, yeah. And see, because as you observe the floor plan, you notice it specifically details poisonous snakes and venomous gas guarding. Yeah, down in the basement. It seems they've trapped the place with a logical fallacy, just for safe measures. So the question is, what are they hiding there?
tell you what, guys, just stick me to the ceiling. I'll walk right over the top of all of it. They never trap the ceiling.
This is the perfect plan. Poisonous snakes can't go on ceilings. Sure of it.
Yeah, we should be safe from the snakes.
The venomous gas.
I'll do some reconnoitering.
Unless sure on.
That's the logic for
No.
the venomous gas.
It's, yeah, don't eat the snakes and don't get bit by the gas. You'll be okay.
We fine.
You make your way
Yeah.
down then.
Through and make our way downtown if we walk fast.
Yes. Now, the plan then is to head down and see what they're hiding. Could it be the plot armor? Could it be this honey comb? Or could it be something else? Curious.
Maybe it's Bear Grylls.
Only
It
one way
could
to
be
find
Bear
out.
Grylls.
Plot armor.
And it could be Detective Sam Bigby.
Could be anything.
Could be.
But let's head down the hallway and find out, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Stanley, are you ready
Be
to
down off the
reconnoiter
ceiling.
with your honey? Yeah, honey steps.
And just when we get down to the bottom of the stairs, just stick me to the ceiling, and I'll just like walk over the
Yeah.
top of it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
stick Stanley to the ceiling.
The facility gets far more intense as you go lower, down 4 different flights of stairs. You're in a deep basement. A pressurized vault. Outside of it, one of what appears to be a hazmat suit. It's not fit for a bear. It's fit much like these tall individuals, humans. But you imagine someone could fit, or 2 people could fit, if you're careful. Or you could risk entering whatever this room would be, this chamber. There's a specific warning to wear that suit in order to enter.
Yeah, but
There's
I
only
can't
one of them.
read, so it's all right.
Who's gonna wear
What
the
do you do,
suit?
gang?
Do I have to wear the suit? I think I have to wear the suit.
I think you might have to wear the suit.
Let me get in this suit. I think I'm the closest to people size.
Yeah. Is it like that thing where you've got it on all the front, but like down the back, there's just a big gap, like where it doesn't quite reach all the way
It's
around?
like half zipped because none of you guys would zip it. There's
Perfect.
I can only reach so far.
Absolutely
tried
bulletproof.
zipping
And it's
it,
just
caught in your fur.
just
so
you
it's
entering.
It's just me in the suit that's split in the back.
Perfect. Do you enter the chamber?
I enter the Chamber of Secrets, yes.
All right. Now, Claudia, Stanley, you could follow if you would like and risk the dangers, or you could continue to explore. There's not much here. A few computers, and then just the stairs leading back up.
I'm gonna head back towards the stairs. I'm going to be on lookout.
I'm going to go with Eddie, but I'm going to be on the ceiling.
You're going to be on the ceiling. Okay. Now,
Covered in honey.
I'll give you a boost
Yeah.
up there, and then I'm going to go guard
That's
the door.
Piggy feet.
the door. Yeah, well, you hear footsteps and a voice you recognize. Buzzing about.
Hmm.
It'd be a certain detective. I'll check it out. No. This is all going according to plan.
Man, this guy is just everywhere.
Yeah, he seems to be flying about places.
Now, what do? Do you try to hold the door? There's a small window. He might see you as he attempts to enter the staircase that leads down into this vault.
Does he sound like
Claudia.
he's walking alone? Or like talking
He's
to
talking to someone. You're not sure. Yeah, you're not sure if the scientist is following him, though.
Okay. I am going to just stand in the window, but like completely still, so that I look like
Completely
maybe
still.
some kind of poster. I've got my lab coat on, and I've got my beehive, and I'm gonna pick up a beaker off the side, and I'm just gonna stand there like I'm some kind of poster, straight in the window, and listen to what you say.
I want a roll here as he makes his way down this staircase to somehow avoid the bear. Now, Teddy, while she does that, you enter this chamber. It's that hex tiling again, except you notice, despite this white chamber, it looks like it's made to be spotless. You can see honey dripping from the walls. There's a buzzing sound. You don't know if it's electronic or something else flying about, but at the center of this floor is a massive pointed apparatus, some piece of technology. Are you familiar with technology as a bear?
Oh, we lost our hat.
Yes?
Yeah, well, it's sort of hard. It looks... Stanley, you'll see this
Yep.
too, just through the windows. It's like a ray
I
gun.
put my bare butt in front of any sort of like cameras or anything that's in the way. Just anything that
Yeah.
position myself. Like,
Notice a chime comes on. B-rays activating in 5, 4 seconds. Do either of the three of you react? 3,
flying
2.
in circles on the ceiling.
I get out. I dive into something.
Diving into something. Yeah, well,
Under-
you notice...
Table. I duck and cover.
Perfect. Yeah, because you're right here. This laser beam starts to power on and shake and rattle. Claudia, how did you do on the check
I got a
as
2,
this detective?
which
He
is
didn't
my
happen
current
to know.
criminal score.
He didn't notice you, and he makes his way down. Now, you have to rein in those bear-like tendencies soon before it's too late, but you should be fine because he makes his way down to the bottom. He seems so confident about the plan laid out, and the stupid bears, as he'd refer to them, makes his way to the clearing in a panic as he realizes you've entered the facility. Seeing Teddy taking cover in this room, this chamber, he immediately sprints for the door and starts banging on it. You don't know what you're doing. Come back. Give it to me. Give me the
I'll
suit.
position myself like
Teddy.
right above the door.
And I'm just standing there. I'm like looking up, and I'm like, I'm not gonna give you the suit.
Stanley, you notice as you peer down the stand to this suit read plots. PLOTT.
It's the plot armor.
Plots armor? Maybe.
Plots armor. Go get it.
Banging on the entrance.
No, Teddy,
I
you're
need
wearing
in.
Plot armor.
It needs to be operated correctly. Ah, this whole thing's gonna blow. And he scrambles. He's looking for a computer. Stanley, you do notice there is a power cord plugged in up on the ceiling here, sort of sticking out, hooked up. Claudia, and you notice some scientists are beginning to rush towards the door. What do you do?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna barricade it. Just gonna try and shut them out.
Yeah. Excellent. You notice they swarm the place. Now, the knob on this array has 3 settings. Teddy, experimental, B in all caps, and bear. And you start to piece something together a little bit. This place, the strange happenings, people tripping up on their words. A floor made of honey. One too many convoluted puns. Something strange is happening in this place. Science fiction or fantasy? One couldn't know. Be curious, though, if a particular artifact might be somewhere nearby powering this thing.
Can I see what's powering this thing? Wait, it's plugged in to the ceiling, right? Or plugged in somewhere to the ceiling.
It is plugged in somewhere to the ceiling, indeed.
I don't want to set it to, I don't want to set it to anything. Because my initial thought was to like mess with the dial.
You could mess with the dial. Stanley, are you moving to unplug the thing?
Yeah, what is Stanley doing?
No, I was gonna. You see, my third cousin, twice removed on my mother's side, is a koala. So I was gonna go into drop bear mode and just hang out over top of the door. And if anybody else comes in through the door, I was gonna drop down on them and.
That is fantastic.
That is a.
Okay, now, yeah, the time seems to be running out. Claudia, what was the result on this roll that you got?
I got a 3. Which I
3.
think with my last one, did I move back towards criminal?
Yes, you did. Yep. Because it went.
Oh, but that's still 3 anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, so, yeah, you make it. The door is properly barricaded. They're scrambling to get in. The detective makes a plea. Teddy, open the door.
I'm not gonna open the door. I want to.
Don't do it, Teddy.
What?
Don't do it, Teddy. Be strong.
I'm gonna leave the door barricade alone, and I'm gonna look around the facility where I am to see if I can see the power source, because I want to yank the powers, whatever the power supply is, out to disable the laser.
Yeah, well, the cord to be removed would mean getting out of the vault. Would mean opening up the seal to reaching. Yeah, and it's the one that Stanley would have access to. But within there, the only thing you could do is to change the dial or maybe open a compartment, search a couple of
I
cupboards.
was in the vault with Eddie.
No, yeah, so you're safely on the outside. It's a chamber within the chamber. Teddy is in the inner chamber, and Sam is moving, and you're in the same room as Sam.
Oh, well then I'll go like full Tarzan and grab the cord and swing down into Sam.
Ooh! Oh, smacking right in. He'll shrug it off, stand up, and go open full fists.
Out come the bamboo nunchucks.
Well, you probably thought I was just a bee in a trench coat, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Joke's on you. He takes off his hat and trench coat. I am many, many bees in a single trench coat, and it's just a swarm of bees just emerges from a homogeneous, roughly wasp-shaped blob of tall, lanky individual. And I want you to go bear.
He was a whole hive of villainy this whole time.
I am going to roll for bear. I've got my bamboo nunchucks. Oh no, I rolled a 4. I only have 2 points in bear.
You just start getting clobbered. Now,
swinging around myself.
Yeah, stings.
I hit myself in the face a couple of times.
Left and right. Claudia, you hear this occurring. The door is barricaded. Just down the flights, you hear a fight breaking out.
I am gonna
You're in a
run
bit of a
to
bind, so yeah.
Patriots. Yeah, I'm gonna run to them.
Okay.
And as I see this swarm of bees going after Stanley, I'm gonna take my trusty paper and my stamp, my confidential stamp that was lent to me from Teddy, and I'm gonna start trying to squish some bees. Stamp them.
Oh my gosh. I call that confidential. All right. Let's go bear.
Bear, okay.
Finally, a 6. Ooh,
a 6.
Teddy. Let's start with what they see. Teddy, you're observing your friends in a losing fight here. The plan, the grand heist, is going very poorly. You've deactivated it. You don't necessarily have a clean way out. Now, it hasn't fully powered off yet. It's sort of losing that hum. If you think this thing is magical, perhaps you can tweak it somehow. Maybe the comb is nearby powering this thing. If you think this thing is just technological, well, you can try your hand at messing with the dials, trying a new setting. What's the difference between the little B setting, the big B setting, and the bear setting? It remains to be seen.
I guess you said there was like a panel on it. Do I flip that panel open and see what's there? See if there's any like fiddly bits that I could, or even instructions, perhaps?
Yeah, let's do criminal. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the folders are right outside. And there's a swarm of bees on them, so that's a bit tricky. But yeah, let's make this criminal check.
I got a 5.
Oh no. What is your specialty?
I'm a thief.
You're a thief.
I'm
It's kind of tricky, isn't it? You can't find anything from this panel.
Question. Since I'm a sun bear and I can sense honey, can I sense the comb?
Ooh.
What if I told you right at the tip of this massive laser beam It is pointed not really to a window, but sort of, if you imagine from the inside of a tank, it's sort of like a tunnel that would lead straight out. You don't really know where this thing was headed, but the laser is pointed in that direction, right at the tip where it would fire. You sense honey.
So it's gonna shoot. I think it's gonna shoot honey. Is what I think is
Your
gonna
friends
happen.
are getting
It is the comb.
clobbered, and
It's the comb.
it's...
It's the comb. So
So what do you do?
So the dials were bees, small b, and then bear. I go up to
Yeah.
the dial and turn it to bear and point it up through the little thing, I think. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Mm. Okay, you leave the comb.
Yeah.
Is that correct? All right, and in this hesitation, you realize that the power dial is starting to power down. You're losing it. Now, your friends are out there. Stanley had just unplugged it to throw hands with the hive there. If you could speak to them, it might save you.
I kind of want I want to use the power that's left in the honeycomb and fire it through the small hole. I think yes.
Okay. With everything that's left, is that what you're telling me? As this thing is losing its power,
as it's winding down, I'm just gonna throw it
Yeah.
to the floor, and whatever it's got left in it for gas, do it.
All right. As you position it, you pull it, the thing finally prepares, you line it up, and with it, a little handheld comb of gold sort of appears. The laser forks out, channeled through, right along the beam. What did you have it set to?
Bear.
Bear. And outside, Stanley, Claudia, the detective stops. Bigby, the swarm. All of the bees move out and cling immediately to the glass. And in a cacophony of buzzes, a plea. You have ruined us. Buckling down, several of the scientists make their way. They gasp, revealing each their coats to be just more and more and more bees. The entire bee operation seems in awe at what had just happened. Stanley, Claudia, what do you do?
Well, Detective here doesn't look like he's hiving a very good time, so I think we leave him be and let's skedaddle and get Teddy out of there.
The plan.
Yeah, I was
It's
thinking I
ruined.
could use a flashback for just a minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I only got one more point left until I go full bear. So
Perfect.
the camera
Let's take
flashes
I'm a
back
van.
to the spa. When everybody
Okay.
else was kind of looking around and nobody was paying any attention to Stanley. Stanley noticed, and keep in mind that earlier I said, this guy, Big B, maybe he's just a big B. He's already suspect because he showed up someplace where he wasn't supposed to be. And so when everybody else was, worrying about whether to leave the door or whatever, Stanley looked underneath the counter in the honeycomb and noticed a bottle of bug spray, a bug bomb, just hiding out underneath that counter. And he just took it and he stuck it up underneath his hat. Actually, he stuck it into his pompadour. that nice big tall hairstyle he's got. And he reaches up in there and he pulls that bug bomb out just in this moment when all the bees are distracted. And he says, Claudia, you get the door! And he pulls the pin on the bug bomb and he drops it in the middle of the room.
And Claudia's gonna run for the barricade she made before and get us a way out. Break it.
Excellent.
And Teddy can see this
Now-
happening. And, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, Teddy, you're on the chamber, within the chamber. Your opponents are just outside. You would have to clear that threshold to catch up with your friends here. Now,
And-
you've got the plot armor.
I have a lot of armor. So as long as
Yeah,
I'm,
so you-
I'm mortal as long as I don't imagine myself dying in a sad way. As
Well,
I
I think that
Exactly.
plot armor would be good against the bug bomb too, because it's got the whole face
Yeah, it
mask
would
in it.
be. And I don't want to. I imagine myself going down in a flames of glory, so I'm safe.
Ooh, that is true.
So what I
now,
want to
here's the
do-
thing: is if you dying in this moment would have a good impact and a strong meaning to your friend Claudia and Stanley, you might die. As is the rules of the plot armor. It's kind of a gamble.
So you
I
just
s-
gotta go out in the least dramatic way. Like, don't do anything epic,
Yeah,
and you'll be
just
fine.
roll
I
out.
think. Yeah.
Take
I
a
think
walk.
just walk over, pop the lock open, throw the door open, and be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
They swarm you, but through a series of near misses and exceptional coincidences, they can't manage to land a single blow on you, despite being thousands in number. The bees flock to you. They can't get a single sting. Stingers falling out left and right. Mid-air collisions on these bees. It's quite a buzz.
They can't touch me.
And you make your way up and out. Stanley, have you prepared the getaway vehicle?
No, I was too worried about the bug bomb. I mean, it's always
Now,
kind
you've-
of ready to go. The keys are in the ignition.
Oh, are they? Okay, so you've prepared the bug bomb. When's it set to explode?
I figured it was going off like now.
Yeah, spraying through.
Type situation.
Yeah, and that cloud of
Pull it,
smoke,
drop it, and
Teddy,
just take a run.
you emerge from cool,
Hang on to your
calm,
butts.
and collected.
Obviously
Bees
not
screaming.
looking at the explosion behind us, right? The bees just explode behind us, and can we
Yeah.
walk towards the van?
Yep,
Oh,
It's cheesy
slow walk,
B-roll.
Absolutely.
yeah. As you wobble over to the car.
I feel like Stanley's feet are still sticky, so every step he's like, like pull his leg up a little bit. So it looks like he's doing the strut, but he's really just trying to get his feet unstuck.
Yeah. And as you make your way to the car, you notice something. Off in the distance. The structure of the courtyard, you couldn't see it until you've parked at this angle. You made your way around the building. It looks like a turret or a cannon. Connected to this laser somehow, it starts to shift and turn, training its opening on the van itself. And a voice comes up on the speaker. It's the detective, Bigby. You've ruined the plan. The voice of effectively many, many bees in chorus, they chime out through this loudspeaker. You'll pay for this. The turret just slowly follows you. Do you try to make a...
Your gun is no match for my duct tape.
Do you book it?
You may.
Now that you're in the car.
Oh, if we're already in the car, then oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on to your
Now, as
butts.
you're... Anything you'd like to say, Claudia, to this?
I'm just gonna scream out of the window as we leave, like, you may think you're unbeatable, but we can bear through anything. And I throw the confidential files out the window.
Ooh, now, Stanley. A roll for you as the getaway driver.
Oh, this would be criminal, yeah?
Criminal, yeah.
Fuck.
Mm.
A 2!
Ooh, and you made it.
Since it is my skill. The first one was a 6.
Excellent.
So that would have been bad.
We get away from the security guard. Driving, winding...
We crashed right through the gate.
Perfect. But you notice something. It's still trained on you. A golden laser lined up against the window. It has range.
Weaving. Back and forth. Forth and back.
Yeah, making your way over. You came here for the comb.
Come on,
For the
honey.
comb.
Come on, baby. You can do it.
The armor and some exceptional honey. Came up sort of empty-handed. You don't have any honey to speak of, and you don't really know what the laser did. It never managed to get a shot off
WB-40 in
on
the
you.
back.
If you would like to
We
take
need
a
all of
look at
that?
it, you can. So there's many, many cans. Yeah, and it's curious. Maybe this laser had something to do with the conversion. It was turning things around Beartown conspicuously into honey, just pure honey. Delicious, but you don't know what happened when you set it to bear. You've just barely managed to get away from B Labs. You've got the plot armor at the cost of the comb. As you make your way down, anything you'd like to say to each other? And where are you headed?
Is the honey still in the van? In the back of the
Yeah,
van? Is all
many
the honey
cans.
there?
Yeah, the WD-40 had been magically or otherwise, by these B-rays, as the scientists call them, transmuted into WB-40, a can of the same dimensions, just filled with delicious honey.
I think we got some nice new outfits and enough honey to last us at least a short vacation.
Yeah.
You know what
And-
I think we should do? I think we should just hightail it and head all the way down to Bermuda, and we'll be, live in lodge for a good long time.
Yeah,
I think
spent a
that
lot
sounds
of time on the
perfect plan.
beach. Yeah.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
perfect.
like-
I'll
brilliant.
I can throw each of us like a can of honey, which we have to spray in our mouths.
But you notice something
To
curious.
Bermuda.
Beartown's known for one thing, really, truly. The massive bear named Beartown, named after the town he was from, called Beartown, which is a different town, and it's not this town. They're not related. But that statue of the bear at the mall, called Mall by the Bear, had been transmuted into not one or many, but a massive pile of just jars of honey.
Whoa!
Seems the laser had a destination. All you guys would need is a van with the space to carry some of those and a place to catch a boat. Well, lucky for you, you happen to live lakeside, and there's a ferry not too far away.
I think it's time to do a drive-by. Pick up that
Drive-by.
honey.
Drive it right into the middle of the Beartown Mall by Beartown.
Yeah.
You know, because they got those. Yeah, every once in a while they put the cars inside the mall. Mall by Bear, and just drive through those big doors right into the middle of the square, load up, and just take off.
Oh,
Running, driving.
Beeline to
What do you
Perfect.
guys
Bermuda.
think? Beeline to
Yes.
Bermuda.
Yeah.
Beeline
Out.
to Bermuda.
We're set for a good while.
Yeah. Unbeknownst
Take the
to the
berry
people
out
of
onto the
Beartown.
lake.
Unbear note.
You load up a van full of honey. In the night, no one's here really to see you. By the time the bees would catch up to see what's been done, nets in hand, you're already long gone, leaving behind quite a sizable monument of cans of honey, all save for a missing chunk, enough to fill a scrappy van, barely managing to shoulder the burden of that mass of honey. But that's basically a lifetime supplies for you. You've got poker chips if you can find a casino and a hat full of cash. Plus some fancy new hairstyles and disguises to boot. But now you're on a berry ferry.
Bunch of bamboo.
Yeah. And with that, we'll call it a successful heist.
Yeah.
Thank you for
To
playing.
Bermuda
Well done,
and
everybody.
Veron.
Of course.
Veron.
Bermuda and Veron.
Fantastic. I love it. Well, that was Honey Heist, everybody. Well done.
Yay.
I'd say
Oh my
A plus on the heisting. It was absolutely bonkers. This was fun. This was my first game outside of what I usually do with my first game on Weave the Tale. But let's do our character outros and maybe a comment about how you feel and how you think it went and how you like Honey Heist, starting with Griff.
Oh, always up first. So Teddy Ruxpin, we went to Bermuda and we had a great time, and yeah, that's kind of it. I've played a couple games of Honey Heist before, so it's always so much fun to play Honey Heist. Yeah, and this is my first time with Weave the Tales, so hopefully y'all have me back.
All right, hands wet.
Hey, yeah, so Claudia, I feel like she did pretty good getting across her her intentions with all of her berries. So I think she's done pretty well for herself, and now just a future of honey and the beach, which sounds great. This is my first time playing Honey Heist. I really liked it. I love these quick, short, small rule games with so much fun. It was really good, and also my first time on the Tale. So yeah, it'd be lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, and James.
Yes, lovely to be here. This is my first time on Weave the Tale too. Ordinarily, I'm over on Penny. Like I said, Sunday nights with Ian doing Age of Ashes or campaign. I've gotten to run Honey Heist before, but I've never gotten to actually play it. And yeah, I absolutely love everything that Grant Howitt does. You can always find that stuff over on Drive for RPG. He is an amazing author. I think that Crash Pandas is probably my other favorite one-page one shot by him. So yeah, if you guys ever want to bring me back and something like that, it'd be absolutely
fantastic. I've been Ian, the Honey Master. Do not forget to follow or subscribe if you're trying to see more weave the tale. This was my first time experiencing Honey Heist. I had an absolute blast. We will be rating Trooper SJP. But aside from that, we're going to go right before the turn of the hour. So thank you for watching, and good night.
You.
These are the tales we weave. Tales of magic. Tales of mystery. Tales exploring the beyond. And while we continue to grow, even more adventures await. In the depths of the unknown. Will you join us in the telling?